Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today I'm going to continue on with my 100 Beyond the 100 Games of All Time with numbers 170 through 161. There's some solid games in here. Just because they're rated this low doesn't mean they're bad. So that should go without saying, I guess. I like games. Pretty much any game that I play, I like. There are a few exceptions. So take my list with a grain of salt. So there you go. So without further ado, let's get going. All right, so number 170 is a game that was all the rage last year or 2022, I can't remember, and is a trick-taking game. But the interesting thing about this is there are no suits. Every card is every suit and no suits at the same time. Hence the name Cat in the Box. The cat is both alive and dead at the same time. That experiment. So what you're doing in this is you are playing a card, and I'll show you a picture. You're playing a card here, and all the cards are black, okay? And you're going to basically be picking the suit of this card when you play it. There's this little board here. So when I play that 2, I get to pick what color that 2 is. Pending, I can play the 2. I can't play the green 2. I can't play the red 2 because it's already been played. So if I can't, I have to make that something else. You always have to follow suit like normal trick taking. But if you can't play the suit, you're going to take one of these cubes off right down here. And that means you can no longer play that suit the rest of the game. The reds are like the trump suit, kind of. So they're always going to take the trick, normal trick taking stuff. But if someone it comes their turn and they can't play a card, it's a paradox, and the round ends. They're going to lose some points. Everybody else is trying to bet on how many tricks they think they can take, 1, 2, 3 in a certain player game, or more in a different player game. And if you get your bid, you get points. If not, you get less points. And you're just trying to do that over the course of, I think, certain number of rounds. Whoever has the points is the winner. Very simple game, but playing these cards and determining which color you want it to be is a challenge. So if you haven't checked this out, I recommend it. It's really good. It's thinky, but it's fun. So that is my number 1, whatever this is, 170 Cat in the Box. Number 169 is probably a game that I like more than everybody else. I don't know why. The theme probably. It's about a chili cook-off, and it's called Scoville. And in this, what you're doing is you are planting peppers, and you're trying to then use those peppers to make chili. You can also just sell the peppers for points as well, but the main point of the game is to make chili. So if this would ever pull up, I'll show you. My internet's really slow today. So yeah, you're planting peppers. There's different color peppers. You're putting them in a cool little grid where, if they're next to each other, they're going to like germinate and create different types of peppers. Come on. I'd like to show you this picture. So you see all the peppers here. If I'm at the crossroads of 2 peppers, like a blue and a green, if my guy is right there, I will create a blue and yellow. I'll create a green pepper. So you're trying to plant peppers on the board and then get your worker in between certain peppers to get certain colors, because you're going to need crazy colors like clear and black and white, all those colors to be able to make the best chili to score the most points. There's also some points for planting some certain color peppers. You can sell peppers. There's a bunch of different ways to score points, but at the core, you're trying to plant, grow peppers, make chili. So there you go. It's not cooperating, so I'm not really going to continue to keep trying to pull this thing up because it's just going to make me mad. But that's my number 169, Scoville. My number 168 is a game from Boardgame Table / All Play. And this is a game that I didn't think I would like at all, but it is fantastic. And it's called QE. This is basically an auction game. So everybody's running a country. Quantitative easing, if you know what that is. It was on all the rage in American media for a while. But everybody's running a country, and you're trying to basically bid on different commodities and a whole bunch of things, which are these tiles, okay, that have points on them. And what you're trying to do is you're bidding to earn this tile. You want the tile. Tiles are worth points. You're trying to get as many points as you can. And again, my stupid internet is not cooperating. But the interesting thing about this game is you can bid any amount of money that you want. So if I really want a tile, I could bid 1 quadrillion if I want to. or make up a number that's higher than anything else. But the rub here is if you bid too much money, if you bid the most money, you lose the game. So you're trying to manage your bidding for these tiles here, and you're also trying to stay within reach of other players with your bidding because you don't want to be the one who bids the most, spends the most money, and gets eliminated. There is an expansion too where they can mitigate some of that, where you can, like the second place person bids for a different kind of commodity and then it comes back to the auctioneer and they get to take that money that was purchased for that off of their bid. So that's kind of cool too. But it's a fantastic game. Here's some of the commodities and what the board looks like. You're just cropping stuff off. You can even get points for bidding 0, which is cool, but you only do that a couple times. So fantastic game. One that I've played a ton of times and it's good every single time. So that's my number 168 QE. My number 167 is a game that I just recently got in a trade, and it's called Yokohama. Now, I don't have this fancy version here. This is the new one. I have the old one in the orange box, this one right here. But no, this is never going to pull up. But effectively, what you're doing in this game is you are moving around this really crazy board, kind of Istanbul style, if you know what that game is. And you're trying to activate these locations to sell goods, get resources, and just score a pile of points. Again, I'm trying to pull these pictures up. It's not cooperating. Hey, there we go. So there's a whole bunch of tiles, and you're going to be moving around, leaving your cubes because your cubes are the power that you have in that tile. And then once you get your little pawn back to that tile, you can activate it, and you can claim these different actions at different strengths based on your cubes and where your pawn is. You can also put like extra buildings here to get extra points. You can get these contracts where you're trying to get certain types of goods to certain places so you can score a pile of points. Whole bunch of stuff you can do here. It looks overwhelming. It is a little bit overwhelming, but once you figure it out, you're just moving around, activating places. It's very similar to Istanbul in that aspect, but I don't even know. I don't think I like it better. I think Istanbul is higher, but maybe because I haven't played this as much. But it's really fun. It's just collect resources, turn them in, try to do the best you can, but in a really cool package. So there we go. That's my number 167, Yokohama. My number 166 is actually a game that's been reprinted from Stonemaier, and I actually like the original version better. Stonemaier's looks better, it has more characters, I get all that, but I like the vibe and the feel of this one, and this game's called Libertalia. And this is a game where everybody has the same deck of cards. It's like 30 characters, I don't remember, because they're different in both. And each round, the very first round, someone's going to flip 9, everybody's going to play with those 9 characters, okay? Then what you're going to do is, each round you're going to put one of your cards in your hand face down onto the board, and they're all going to do something based on low value to high, then high value to low, or vice versa. Some cards will punch other cards, causes people not to get some things, but ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to split the booty that's available each round. And booties are like treasures, barrels. There's even some booty that's like a sword that you can kill another player so they don't get anything. See the booty tiles right there. And you're just trying to end up with the most money after each round because you're a pirate. You want gold. That's what you're trying to do. So the place over, I think, 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds. And you're just playing cards, I think 5 or 6 cards each turn. And you'll have some left over. So as the game moves on, people are going to have different cards left. You may get some cards back. So no one really knows what's going on. But at the very beginning, everybody has the same cards. The powers are cool. It gets a little mean. It gets a little nasty. But, man, for my money, it's a fantastic game. The new one's fine. It has very similar vibe. It's animals instead of pirates. It's a little less controversial because you know the day and age we live in now. But either version, if you can't find this one because this one's out of print, the new one's fine. It looks better. It has a better production. I like the look of this better, but it has better bits and stuff. Either one, they play similarly, and I love it. So that's my number, whatever this is, 166, Libertalia. 165 is a game that it was early on. I got this from Cool Stuff Inc., I'm pretty sure, when they were actually selling board games and didn't just sell magic cards. And it's called Dice Town. And this is a game, it's basically just a dice checking game. You're playing Yahtzee, kind of, with poker dice. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get different kinds of dice faces to activate different sections of this board. So you're trying to collect gold nuggets, you're trying to rob the saloon or the bank, you're trying to get into the saloon, get extra power cards that give you a whole pile of things. You're trying to become sheriff because then if there's a tie, you can break the ties. And if you're trying to earn land, like get some land out here, which I think is like the best poker hand period. And if you can't do any of that, you get some bad luck stuff, which is still pretty cool. And you're just going to play, I forget how many rounds it is, but you play till the gold nuggets are out. And it's just a ton of fun. Simple, good times. I don't even have the expansion. I just have the base game. And even just that is fun. The dice go in these little shakers, and you shake it, and you slam it on the table. Good times. So if you like Yahtzee, you like poker, and you just want to kind of mix the two and have a good time, this is definitely one you should check out. I will never not play this game if someone wants to play it. It's just amazing, and everybody knows Yahtzee. Most people are familiar enough with poker that you can, kind of make it work. And yeah, it's so good. I don't even have this Oh, I do have it ranked. No, I don't have it rated. What the heck? Maybe I do, but my computer's slow. But there you go. On 8. Yeah, that sounds right. So that's my number 165, Dice Town. 164 is a game that looks funky. The box makes it look like a game that's not good, but it's a really cool dice manipulation game, sorta. And it's called Sentient. And this has some options, but effectively what you're trying to do is you have this player board here. Let me see if I can pull it up. And on that player board, you're going to have 4 dice. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to acquire these cards through like placing workers, which is the bidding. And each of the cards are going to manipulate these dice. And what you're trying to do is you're going to score these cards here based on the values of the dice that are touching those cards. So you see, if I had the one on the left, I'll just one on either side, I'll get 2 points. If they both are the 5 that's in the middle there, they're going to be worth 7. But the rub here is every time you play a card, it's going to adjust one of these dice values unless you use one of these little gear guys here. So clearly that was going to adjust the pip up or down, and they needed it to be a 5. So you're trying to take these cards, manipulate your dice accordingly so you can score as many points as you can. Then there's some auction where you're going to be acquiring these tiles that look like this, and it's going to multiply cards times the tiles to score you extra points. But majority of the game is this dice thing here, which is fantastic. Nice little math puzzle, and just a ton of fun. Brain burny. This game does not get the love that it deserves, and it deserves more love. So there you go. That was kind of a stupid sentence, but you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, this game is really good, and that is my number 164, Sentient. Number 163 is a Takedo killer for me. And this is the newest version of the, well, not the newest because the Takedo Duo, I think, is newer, but this is a different game in that line. This is called Namiji. This does everything Takedo does, which is move around the board, can't go backwards, whoever's farthest back gets to go first, all that kind of thing. You're trying to stop the different locations to take the actions. But in this one, there's some better actions. You can do some fishing. There's a little bit of push your luck where if you get too many of a certain kind of fish, you can bust. Or not fish, deep sea diving. You can pull stuff out of the bag, and if you draw too much stuff, you bust. You can get fish. You're trying to collect different sets of fish here from these tokens. You're trying to get tiles here that are going to help you on your player board. You're still trying to get some of these cards here. There's even an expansion in the middle that will give you these like little lanterns that you have on your player board, and you're trying to get rid of them. You're going to throw them into the middle, and then they're going to give you rewards. You can do that in the base game too, but the expansion gives you rewards. Also gives you extra stuff you can pull out of the bag to help you bust or help you not bust. It's far superior to Kaido for my money. I'll still play Takedo, but if I have a choice, which I do because I own both, I'm just going to pull off Miji because it's better. Similar vibe. Just as easy to teach, a few extra pieces, but not enough to make me not want to get it off the shelf. So, yeah, I enjoy this one quite a bit. And that is my number 163, Namiji. 162 is actually a game that people poo-poo on a lot, and I don't understand it. It's fantastic, and that's Cargo Noir. Now, this may be the reason why people poop on it. It's a really slow auction game. Every turn, you're going to either put a ship down on the board at an area to try to win the auction for these ships. Let me see if I can find a section of the board that doesn't look too terrible here. And you're going to be getting these tokens to sell them in, to turn them in, basically sell them to buy cards to score points. So you're trying to get the most. It's an auction, so you're trying to have the most money out in these locations. So you can see here, this green boat bid 2. When it's your turn, you're either going to add a coin to a bid, or if you're the have the highest bid at a location, you can pull off your ship in that money, take all those tokens. So you can see there's the whole different types of tokens. If you collect a bunch of different ones, you can score a whole pile of money. You can collect a bunch of the same ones, you'll score a whole pile of money. And you're going to do that over the course of 11 rounds. And whoever has the most points, which is the cards that you can get for selling or just selling the things for points, you're going to win the game. It gets a little weird in the last couple rounds because the auction kind of falls apart there. But up until there, the game is fantastic. I like it. It's an auction game, but functions kind of like an area control game, and I like it. I don't know why I get such a bad rap. Gamers are fickle. They just like what they like, and if it's not the perfect game in every single way, they boo poo on it. But that's not me. So that's my number 162, Cargo Noir. All right, so the last one I want to talk about in this section, number 161, is a game that I got for Father's Day or something like that, and it's called Jinja. And this is a worker placement game where you're basically sending these workers out to these different locations to try to get building materials, try to do some other things, to ultimately build these cool buildings in these locations to score points, get some area majority, and all that kind of thing. Now, I haven't played it for a minute, so I'm not remembering the rules with 100% accuracy, but that should go to be said for all of them. But this one, it looks fantastic on the table. The workers' placement spots are tight. The area control is tight because there's only a couple spaces in each of the sections of the board where you can build. There's these cool things that happen every round that are going to change up the way some of the stuff functions. People have complained that it's not the most dynamic game. I might say that as well. The worker placement spots are always the same. There's not a ton of different setup variability, but I don't really care about that as much as a lot of people. I just want the game to be fun, and I want to have fun playing it, and that's what this one is. I mean, it's just fun. You go to a spot, collect the things, get enough stuff to build. There's small buildings, big buildings, large buildings that are represented by cards that you're going to have in front of you, but they're all represented by these buildings on the board. But you're trying to collect certain types of sets of those to score extra points. Just a really fun game. It's rated pretty low, and that's sad. Again, I repeat my comment from before. Gamers need games to be perfect in order to give them high ratings, or Arc Nova, because Tom Vassell talked about it. But yeah, if you haven't checked this out and you like worker placement, you like Asian themed games, you like games that feel a little bit different, I say check this out. So that's my number 161, Jinja. All right, well, that's the next 10 of my 100 Beyond 100. I'm going to try to do these a little more frequently. I know I've been slacking. I apologize. Um, Such is life. So there's 66 more episodes of this, I believe. I'm not 100% sure if I'm doing the math right. We'll say 6. And then the top 100s will be done outside of what we're doing on the podcast for me. But me and Katie are still finishing the top 100, but I've done the blogs of the 100 beyond the 200, the ones that are above 300, and now I'm trying to finish this up so you can have a whole ton of content, whole ton of games that you can check out and see if there's anything in there that you dig. So there you go. So that's another installment of the 100 beyond the 100. I'm Jason with the Motor Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.